You might remember a few weeks ago I picked up this rather grotty looking Sega Megadrive, and I think now it's about time I actually did something with it. So I don't know if you've seen the last video on it or not, but anyway, I picked this thing up for not a lot of money, and it was just outputting a blank screen. But once I cleaned up the cartridge port, it started working, and it seems to work fine. It's just very scuffed, very dirty, very unloved, really. Looks like it's been stored in a barn or something. It's absolutely gross. So I want to make a start on stripping it down, checking it out inside, cleaning up that cartridge port properly, because I only gave it a very brief clean last time. Give it a proper clean, maybe a recap, maybe there's other things we can do with it as well, I don't know. But really, I just want to see what's inside, what's going on, make sure, looking at the condition of the outside of it, that there's nothing nasty going on inside as well. So this will be interesting. I've never had one of these apart before, so yeah, let's get into it. And I'm just seeing 3 6 screws on the top. So let's just buzz those out and see what moves. Okay, as far as I can tell, that's not a plug holding the LED in. I think that's soldered right to the board. That I don't like. And on the other end, they've just fed the LED legs right through a connector and then bent them over, and that's how that's attached. That's really poor, that actually. It's really not good at all. Although I suppose it works. I just don't like it. It seems a bit cheap and nasty to me. You know what, just for right now, screw it. Let's just cut that, and I'll try and do something else with that at another time. Right, yeah. So what have we got? We've got an RF shield. Let's see if we can get that out the way. Everything, even inside, is just grimy. So I've got screw there, 2 there, 1 there, a couple more there. That looks like a heatsink actually. Let's just start taking screws out and see what moves. Oh, there it goes. And we've got a little hook there. Okay, right, that's out the way. So what are we looking at? A whole mess of capacitors. That is a heatsink. That's a big heatsink. And we've got 2 7805s right there. So I'm thinking, can I replace these with switch mode regulators and get rid of this heatsink and keep the internal temperature down? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. We've got some, I don't know if these are bodge wires or what, I don't know. We've got 3 of them anyway. Oh, we've got something on the, yeah, we've got a little resistor bodge. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, right there. A little resistor's been tacked onto the leg. That cartridge port, that's what was giving us grief last time, so that's going to need a proper cleaning. I might even take it off and put it in the ultrasonic. That seems to work quite well. What capacitors are they using? They're using Rubicons, which are nice quality. I don't know if they're worth changing or not, because they are high quality capacitors, but they're from an era of 90s capacitors and they were never good around this time, so I might change them out. I might. Okay, let's keep digging. Right, great, we're in bits. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zip around and make a note of these capacitor values and I'll get them ordered, if I don't already have them. I will order a couple of replacements for the 7805s because I'd love to get rid of this heatsink. And we'll see how that goes, because I know in some circumstances you really do need to use linear power supplies, especially when the circuit's been designed around it. Otherwise you get a hum or a buzz through the picture or the audio. But we'll see, we'll try it first, because there are a lot of chips and a lot of capacitors that live underneath this heatsink. They will be getting cooked by this thing, so I'd like to get rid of it if I can. And then give the board a bit of a wash down. I think electrically that's as far as I need to go with this, because it does work. So yeah, so I am going to switch the camera off. I'm going to order these parts, and then I will bring you back in a few days or however long it takes for the parts to arrive, and we'll continue from there. You know, I've just noticed this. How nice is that we can identify the date of manufacture that easily? 26th of October 1992. Excellent. Yeah, it's a few days later now and all my capacitors have turned up. So I am going to buzz all of these out, replace it with the new ones, and then we'll continue from there. Right, well that job's done, it's all recapped, and yeah, it seems fine. There's a little bit of interference on the TV picture, but I am running it through RF without any RF shielding, so I suppose that's to be expected. But yeah, that's a big pile of caps. So, next job. I've got the heatsink back on and we are currently pulling 780 milliamps, thereabouts. Thought it'd be more than that, but there it is. Yeah, cool. So that's at the that's 780 milliamps at the DC jack. Let's get the 7805 swapped out for the switching regulators and we'll see what the difference is. Right, they're in. My cartridge is back in and we're hooked up to the ammeter again, so hope this works. I hope I don't kill it, but let's see what happens. Let's turn it on. Oh, yeah, we're on. It's fine. Lovely. And what are we pulling? 440 milliamps. So that's come down considerably. Right, I've had this running for a few minutes now and all seems well. They get warm, but only slightly warm. They're certainly not getting hot. Yeah, these seem to work really well. There's no strange interference on the screen at all. Everything seems to be working as it should. Excellent. If you're interested, they are a Traco TSR 1-2450. So if you're thinking about doing this yourself, that's what I've used, and it seems to work on this board. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we've got lower power consumption. We've got rid of that heatsink, which is in turn going to extend the life of all these capacitors. And the board in general, I would think, because it's not being cooked in its own case. Yeah, excellent. Right. Next job, clean the board up, I think, because it is pretty disgusting. Yeah, this is gross. I've seen worse, but yeah. It's pretty grubby, so I am going to give this a clean. I'll brush off the debris and then I'll attack it with some IPA. And then I'll go around the connectors and the sockets with some contact cleaner. Yeah, should be done after that. Well, the board will be. Right, let's have a look at the top case then, which is absolutely filthy and scraped and disgusting. I suppose I better do something with it to clean it up. Right, so a few days ago when I opened this up, I just cut this cable because I was impatient. And what I should have done was bent these legs up and just slid the plug off, and I found that when I googled it. But I didn't do that, I cut the cable, so I'll have to repair that. There we go, yeah. Now what I want to do is I want to get this LED out altogether because I have these, and these are colour change LEDs, and there's no particular reason to fit this. I just want to make it a little bit unique, that's all. But I think they're a different size to what's in here, so I'm going to have to modify the case slightly to get this out. And I'm also going to need to get rid of this plastic ring. Now the way this is fitted on is it's held in place by 4 tabs, and then they've just been kind of melted in place. So I'm going to need to remove those and then glue the ring back on afterwards, but that is the only way that LED's coming out. It's a bit of a cheap way of building it, if you ask me, but hey, yeah. Let's have a look at getting this door mechanism out the way first, and then we'll see about getting this ring out. Okay, it's free. These 4 tabs, okay. If I just give them a little wiggle and make sure they're not actually attached to the main part of the case, and those 2 seem free. That's free. And that's gone. Should be able to cut these flush and get this ring out. This will be interesting. We're nearly there. There we go. Rings out. And there's the LED. Lovely. Right. I will need to make a slightly bigger hole to accommodate a slightly bigger LED in that, so let me see what I've got to do that with. You'll have to excuse the mess on the desk, but I've been whittling, so I've just... Well, what I did is I actually ran a screw right through, self-tapping screw to make the hole bigger. I took the ring out and I whittled at the bottom, and now that LED will fit in, and I think with a blob of hot glue it'll stay there. And that should work. And from the top, it doesn't look modified other than the light colour's going to change, that's it. Yeah, cool. Okay, let me clean this mess up and then let's get this case into some soapy water. Right, everything's had its bath and it's looking a lot cleaner, but we are still quite scuffed in places. So I'm going to need to do something about that. So what I've got is some car black wax. So I'm going to give this a go and just see if it dulls down these scratches a little bit. You never know. Worth a shot. I used it on an Amstrad not so long ago and it was okay. It came out quite well. I mean, it didn't completely remove the scratches, but it looked a lot better. And that's probably all I can hope for really without painting it. So let's just slather this stuff on actually. Let's really go for it. Oh, it's a messy job. Right, I'll let that soak in for a bit and then I'll buff it off. I'll probably give it a few goes and I'll bring you back when I've finished. And as if by magic, half an hour's work turns into seconds. Right, done. It's had a few goes with the black wax, and while it's not perfect, I think it looks a lot better. It's acceptable, I think. It's a far cry from the mess that I unboxed a few weeks ago anyway. I suppose it can all go back together now. Right, I'm going to have to hold this ring back in place with a little hot glue. Right, I'm going to have to do the same with the LED as well. I know this is a bit of a bodge, but considering how it's fitted in the first place, I refuse to feel too bad about it. So that's how it's going in. I'm assuming hot glue will do this. If not, I've got some epoxy. I don't think I'll need it. Right, the RF shield does have some signs of corrosion on it. All I've done is clean it. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to make it look pretty because it's an RF shield, so why bother? It's had a clean, all the dirt's off it. It still looks a bit scruffy, but so what? It goes inside the machine. So let's put it back together, and I hope I remember how it all went. We'll see. I think that went like that. Yes. Right, there we go. There's 2 screws missing here that would normally go into the heatsink, but as the heatsink isn't there, they aren't needed, I hope. So we're good, we're good. And top case, let's put the LED in. So my long lead is my positive. This is a really, really weird way to fit an LED, but that's what Sega did, so that's what I'm doing. Who am I to question it? Okay. Let's make sure everything's seated correctly. And zoom out so you can actually see what I'm doing, which will probably help. Oh, hang on. You know what I've not done? I'll put my little trapdoor back. Hang on. That would help. Right, make sure it all still works. Okay, we're all hooked up again, so hopefully, I see no reason why it wouldn't. Oh, it does, it's fine, yep. We're working again. Excellent. And how's my LED doing? Yep. That's changing colour just fine. Yeah, there really was no point to the colour change LED other than the fact that I have a bag of them and I wanted to use them for something, so one of them's gone into this. It makes it a little bit different, I suppose. I think this has turned out quite well, actually, all things considered. It was a bit of a mess when I got it. It's now working perfectly. It should run a lot cooler because it's got those switching regulators in it, so no more heatsink. It's got the weird colour change LED. Still got things I want to do to it. I've still got to look at the controllers because they are still a mess. I haven't decided whether I'm going to refurbish what it came with or just change them altogether. I don't know. I want to have a look inside the power brick, but it's got some security screws on it and I haven't been able to get into it yet. I'm not expecting much. I think it's just a coil and maybe a smoothing capacitor or something. I don't know, but I just want to have a look at it anyway. And I wouldn't mind rigging up an AV cable for it as well. I was going to buy one, but I think, to be honest, I might just try to go building my own. So that'll probably be for another video, but for now, I think I'm done. I'll say thank you as always very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.